Hello, and welcome to Brainwake's Civic Education, an introduction to civic education. So in this video, I want you to understand your syllabus. I understand there are some students who may be facing the syllabus for the first time, either as ordinary level students or students who are attempting their GCE examination. So it's best you understand your syllabus before you can dive in. Okay, so what is civic education at a definition level? So civic education is a social science. So it would be very hard for you to apply scientific principles that you might find in physics or biology in a social science. So social sciences usually require you to think qualitatively and not quantitatively. Therefore, civic education refers to the learning process that equips individuals with the knowledge, skills, and values necessary for active and responsible citizenship. It aims to foster an understanding of civic rights and responsibilities, democratic principles, social justice, and the functioning of government institutions. So at the end of the civic education curriculum, you're expected to be a good, well-educated, all-round citizen that can apply critical thinking skills in general democratic processes and citizenship processes. So the entire basis of the curriculum is to empower you to become a good citizen. So what are some of the objectives of civic education? So that as you are facing this curriculum, as you are facing the exam, you know that you're just not aiming to pass. Because passing civic education is generally easy. Therefore, you should focus not just on passing, but understanding the objectives so that you get to enjoy the social science that you are encountering and facing. So the first thing is promoting civic participation. Civic education aims to encourage individuals to actively engage in democratic processes such as voting, community service, and advocacy for social causes. So it's going to empower you to vote, despite whether the political scenario within your country, whether it's politically stable or unstable. By learning the basis of civic education, it's going to encourage you to vote. Community services. Civic education is going to encourage you to a call for action. So you're going to be able to identify problems even at a community level and apply some of the principles of civic education that you're going to encounter in your syllabus to find real life solutions, as well as advocacy for social causes, fostering critical thinking, which might be one of the most, if not important, objective of civic education. It encourages individuals to think critically about societal issues, analyze different perspectives, and make informed decisions. So at the end of the day, you'll be more educated and more empowered to take better action of your own life choices, as well as um, decisions at a citizenship level. Uh, Developing civic values. Civic education helps instill values such as tolerance for other people, respect for diversity, regardless of our societal differences, empathy, the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes, as well as ethical behavior. Ethical behavior becomes very, very important, which are essential for the harmonious and inclusive society. So it helps you become a more better citizen to incorporate people of different beliefs and attitudes, as well as understanding the general diversity of human society. Understanding government structures, very, very important. It provides knowledge about the structure, functions, and roles of various government institutions, including the legislature, executive, and judiciary branches, and how they apply those checks and balances. So you have to understand your government structure, electoral systems in Zambia. Promoting social justice. So civic education emphasizes the importance of equality, human rights, and fairness in society, empowering individuals to recognize and address injustices and inequality, women's rights, rights for minority groups, rights for the girl child and the boy child. So it's going to encourage you to address these injustices that you might encounter and have an honest opinion about them, challenge them, and suggest possible solutions. Building community engagement. It encourages collaboration and cooperation among individuals and communities to address common challenges and promoting the common good. So building community engagement, preparing informed citizens. Civic education equips individuals with the necessary information and skills to participate effectively in public discourse, understand public policies, and hold elected representatives accountable. Elected representatives and democratic processes are as transparent as they try to be. So based on that transparency, documents are released to the public, and with this knowledge of civic education, you'll be able to understand those documents and you'll be able to make those better democratic decisions because you now become an informed citizen. Okay, so this is your curriculum, Civic Education 2030/1. It's one paper and it has a preamble. So civic education is part of the school leaving examination taken at the end of a senior secondary school level. So you have to have at least 3-year course. So you have to have grade 10, 11, and grade 12, and the topics are split. In 2019, the Examinations Council of Zambia undertook an examination reforms, which saw an introduction of school-based assessments for all practical papers and changes in some theory papers. During the examination reforms process, the education examination question papers were analyzed consequently, and reforms have been made in terms of the structure and time allocation. So it moved from a two-stage paper, paper 1, paper 2, to just a single paper. So these papers, paper 1 and paper 2, have been made, so you're only going to write one paper, and a specimen has been developed, and this specimen, we're going to analyze it in great detail. So let's look at some of the study techniques that you can utilize when you're studying a social science. So the number one thing we've achieved, which is understanding the curriculum. You have to review the course syllabus to understand the topics that you're supposed to cover, as well as the learning objectives. So if you look at a civic education book, look at the curriculum, look at the topics, look at the learning objectives that you're supposed to understand at the end of that topic as you are studying. You have to be able to identify the key concepts, theories, and principles that will be addressed in the course. It's the key concepts, the theories, and the principles that form the basic foundation for multiple choice questions, short note questions, as well as your long essay questions. Knowing these concepts. You have to know the right type of textbooks and resources that you're supposed to use. Ask your teachers, what textbook am I supposed to use? What article should I use? What revision coursework do I need? When you are in a class, be attentive, sit in front, take detailed notes. It doesn't matter whether you are a student in high school or someone who's doing their GCE and they've enrolled for some tuition somewhere. Take the front seat, take detailed notes, be engaging, ask questions, take down proper notes, and organize your notes in a structured manner to facilitate understanding and retention. Use your highlighters, buy a red pen, interchange blue-black pen, highlight the important points. So engage in active learning. So find people who are doing civic education as well and teach each other, ask questions, and interact with your fellow class colleagues. If you can't teach someone a concept, it means you haven't fully understood that concept. So participate in active learning. So explore real-world examples, engage in civic discourse, watch the news, follow current affairs, look at what is trending in the civic education world, as well as the political spectrum. Utilize different study techniques like the Pomodoro technique and spaced repetition techniques. You can use flashcards. There is a whole array of different study techniques that you can utilize and know how best it is that you study. Do you understand well visually? Do you understand auditory? Are you a hands-on person? So utilize different types of study techniques. Stay informed, stay focused. I know you can do this. If you are struggling with civic education, Brainworks Education is offering a Civic Education 2030 bootcamp where you have to master your exams. So this is a crash course for people who really want to pass civic education. You get the ultimate exam prep experience with our Civic Education Bootcamp. So please do book a session with us. The cost of the session is on the screen. And this is what you're going to get from this session. In-depth past paper revision, master key concepts with experts, explanation, and added notes. So we're going to be able to revise at least 5 past papers. And all those five past papers, we're going to try and attempt to teach the topics that have been highlighted in those specific questions in detail. And you're going to get a one-on-one tutoring experience directly from an experienced tutor. These sessions are going to be recorded and you're going to be able to download your recorded session and continuously revise those recorded sessions per section of the past paper. And you're going to be able to watch them anytime to reinforce your learning. So please book a session now with me, and you can contact me on the number on the screen. Happy learning. This has been Brainworks Education.